welcome back to another Art with Hannah video. It's so nice to see you. How you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Hi. Hello. So today I was thinking I would show you my process on how I draw the human body. Drawing people is something that I think I specifically excel at. I've been drawing people my entire life, which my entire wise 19 years of living. So I think I'm kind of good at it. So I'd like to show you what my process is, what I know, how I do things, and I think it'd be fun if you joined me with a piece of paper, pencil, whatever you like to use to draw, and we can do this together. Eventually, I'd like to get into things like landscapes and animals and other stuff like that, but those would be like let's learn together videos instead of me teaching you videos, because I'm not as good at those things as I am people. So let's get into it. All right, so we have this beautiful smiley face here that is gonna go away. Sorry, smiley face. So I like to break the human body down into shapes, and a lot of the time I just start with a head, person's head. And I mean, I like drawing faces. They're generally what I go for first. I don't know. I like people's faces. I like expressions, and I think it's fun. And they're the part that I feel like I draw the best. I feel like I draw people's faces best. So I tend to gravitate towards those. But let's get our basic shapes down of the entire body first. Sound good? Awesome. Let's do it. So I like to draw a little circle for the kind of skull part of the person's head. And then I draw a line down the middle showing me which way my person is facing. So I'm just going to have them facing forward. So the line is down the middle of their face, not to the side, not to this side, just straight down the middle. And then I like to draw the person's jaw. So I just draw, your classic kind of V shape down. It also changes per character. I mean, as you like to draw like different people with, like, let's say they have a rounder face, then eventually you'll draw a more like round shape for their jaw or something like that. But we're gonna stick to the basics, stick to a basic person. They're not special, they're just basic. It's fine. But yeah, I draw that, maybe go in with the ears or something like that. So this is my basic person face. I draw essentially the top of their skull. I like to draw in their jaw. I have the line down the middle showing me where they're facing. And then I usually put in a line for the eyes. Now the eyes kind of meet this area like right above the bottom part of the circle that I've drawn. Obviously, once again, that'll vary depending on what your character looks like, how you want to make them. But we're drawing our basic person. So I like to put my line right there, and that's where my eyes are. Hello, cute little eyes. Hello. And then my ears will also line up with that line. Because, I mean, if you look at my eyes and it connects to my ear, if I draw a line just straight from my corner of my eye, it meets about right here where my ear connects to the top part of my ear connects to my head. So that's kind of where I draw it. I take from that line, I go up a little bit, draw the curve, then I bring it down. Up a little bit, draw the curve, bring it down. And there's my little head face thing. Hi, how you doing? And then as you go down, like the nose will meet kind of where the bottom of the ears are. I like to draw a little like circle there and then do whatever I want with the nose. Sorry, my brush is super soft. So we're gonna get a slightly darker color and I'll show you this nose. Doop, that's perfect. So we have a little bit, I draw like the indent of their nostrils, bring it up. There's a little nose, and then the mouth is essentially in the middle-ish of this section. And he's gonna go, hey, how you doing? Hi. Because the mouth will land, like I said, around in the middle of this section. So I'm gonna erase that actually. And I like to draw like two little dots right there. And then I connect the mouth right there. Kind of looks funny because of my eraser lines, but it's fine. But yeah, so there's my little basic face, there's my little basic head. Let's move on. So now we're gonna go into the neck. I'm gonna switch back to my regular color. By the way, switching from color to color isn't necessary. You just use what you are comfortable with your art medium. So, man, I hate that mouth. That bugs me. We're gonna go back a little bit. Fix that up a little. And we're gonna do, hey, excuse me, zoom in. Thank you. We're gonna do a little smile like that. Okay, it's just a little derpy, little cartoony. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, now with your neck. Technically, every person's neck is as wide as their head. I don't like to draw necks like that. It's just a style choice. We'll get into styles later. But technically, a person's neck is as big as their head. But as you can see, it makes this guy look super muscular. So, the way I like to draw them is just slightly in from the jaw points that I've drawn on his face. So, and this, once again, things will vary with characters, and that's okay. But yeah, so I like to draw necks just indented at the chin, well, in from the jawline. And we just have a simple neck. Doesn't have to be that long. It's not a head tall. It's about like, I don't know, it's small. Necks actually aren't that long. It depends on the person. Now, this is where we break things down more into shapes. Very simple shapes. We're going to start with very, very simple shapes. We're going to start with his chest, right? His upper chest area. So I just like to draw like a little box, slightly trapezoid-ish shape. This is what I generally go for when I'm drawing people. You could, if you like this better, draw more of an egg shape. And you could encase, and that would represent all of his ribs, essentially. So you dip down more into the torso instead of just having like this box section of your chest and your shoulders area. And I mean, what you would do, I'll show you both ways with how I like to draw it. Because sometimes I do go for more of like, I'm going to draw the rib cage and then I'm going to do this. But I'm going to draw this on 2 separate layers so I can show you. And then on this layer, we're actually gonna make my eraser just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger, a little more convenient. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm just gonna take this away. We're gonna come back to the box shape. I'm gonna show you the rib cage shape first. We're gonna come here. Okay, now I'm gonna go on my second layer. And if you draw, ooh, man, my other circle was better than this one. It's fine. So we're gonna draw our little rib cage shape. And once again, I put a line down the middle of either the box or the circle, either way. I guess it's more like an egg, flat, weird shape. But I like to put a line down because this shows me what direction my person is facing again. Because a person's face and a person's body can be looking at, like, they can go 2 different directions at the same time, right? So I'm gonna have his chest facing still the front. It's gonna be very basic flat pose. We're not worrying about anything crazy right now. You have this, and then you don't actually, because your rib cage is actually pretty long. So between either your rib cage and your hips, there's not that much space. And for the pelvis, I'm just gonna draw this simple little like upside down house shape. Super simple, super easy. And honestly, it's the same thing whether you want the square or the round shape. The square, actually you could draw it on top. It just helps me put my shoulders in a better spot. Easier. But your square can come in and you just have your little torso, belly button area. There's your pelvis. And then you have your legs, and ooh, I did not make my canvas long enough for this, so that is fine. We're gonna just do some finagling here. Excuse me, thank you. Merge down. Now we're gonna grab my guy. We're gonna make him just a little bit smaller, so I fit this on my page. You don't have to do this. You can make the legs short. That's fine. I just want to make my legs a little bit longer. Okay, so we have our little upside down house shape for our pelvis. We have our rib cage. We have our box that helps us place our shoulders. And the shoulders, just draw 2 circles on either side of the box corners. And then this middle open area is just the belly torso. There you go. Now, with your legs, just draw 2 little circles within your little pelvis house thing. And that's essentially where your thighs connect to your hips, or your pelvis. That's just kind of what that represents. And then you could just draw 2 lines straight down to where you want the feet to meet. Feet to meet. And then I'm just going to draw 2 little ankles right there. Well, I'm going to draw circles representing my ankles. Once again, these don't have to be purple circles. They are purple circles. They don't have to be perfect circles or perfect shapes at all. Human bodies are not perfect, so we're just drawing simple loose shapes. And then my feet are going to just be these little triangles down here. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Right there. And then with my 2 lines that represent my legs, I'm going to go in and make like this kind of pendulum line. Pendulum meaning it goes up at the edges, so it curves. We have the slight curving line that goes in the center of my leg lines. And there, where the pendulum meets the leg lines, that's where my knees are. So now, and then I can just make these oval shapes connecting my little joint circles together and create legs. They kind of look funny. They kind of look like weird balloon man legs. But that's fine. This is just really simple, and I'm just breaking down the shapes that I use so you know. And then the arms are very similar to the legs. So go ahead and you can draw your lines, just 1 line representing the entire arm. And you're going to, we want to place the wrist about at the point where we drew circles for the top of the thigh, where your leg connects to your pelvis. That's where we're gonna draw circles for your wrists. So, and then from there you can just draw little like boxes for hands. Hands are a whole other story that we'll dive into later. And then, once again, you're gonna kind of go to the middle of those lines that you made for your arms, and this should hopefully cut through the middle of your torso-ish area. And right there is the elbow. And now we have a basic shape person with a smiley face. And then from here, you just build on top of it. So I have my shoulders. I'm going to start filling this area in because we know that this is filled with muscle and bone. It's not just a stick line, right? And then there's more muscles and bones and things like that that connect to each other. Right there. And there you go. It looks kind of funny like this. It looks really, really funny. It looks very funny. I think it looks ridiculous. But essentially, that's what I do. I don't do it in this exact process, though. So, yeah. This is where we're at. So, I guess I could show you now how I kind of apply this in actually drawing a character. But I'm just gonna go ahead and draw the pose. I probably won't be talking as much in this because I'm going to try and do this just a little bit faster. But I just want to show you how it can come together. So let's go for it. I'm going to take this guy away, change my color, and we're going to go into it. All right, so there was a very, very fast version of everything that I did. I didn't add in any details on the face. Obviously, no details here. So now we see that this person is facing more of a 3/4 angle, which means they're not fully to the side, but they're like at the angle that I am at right now with the camera. You can see part of their face that's farther away from you. So yeah, and this kind of helps show, like with the legs right here, when you draw legs, they have a curve to them. So your thighs are going to curve forward and your shins, your calves are going to kind of curve backward. And that helps because legs aren't perfectly straight. They're not. It's just not how it is. More muscle comes forward on the thighs. Muscle goes back on the calves and the shin area. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to create more of a sketched character. But I'm going to fill in her muscles that she has. And this time I'm drawing a girl. The first time I was drawing more of a man figure, but they're the same. Except for one is more curvy than the other. So yeah. But here we go. And now I'm going to take a darker color and I'm going to go in with some more details. And I'm going to show you how I do that. All right. Here we go. All right. So there is a little character. And this is how it kind of came together. I hope you can kind of see how it makes sense. I know I just blew through that section because I wanted to make sure I got her down. But I hope you can see kind of how, like, well, yeah, here's her torso. Her bust is here. And then I gave her high-waisted pants. So her pants cover her belly button, but then her pelvis still comes down here. And her legs start where I drew the circles and everything like that. And yeah, you might have noticed that I did not go in and draw her hands yet. I kind of saved that because I wanted to talk a little bit about hands. So which we're going to do right now. And, well, I mean, I'm not going to go deep into hands. I just kind of want to show them as an example because I'd rather save a whole other video for hands because personally, I do struggle with hands. I struggle with hands and feet, but I'm not terrible at them. But hands are they're just as basic as the body, essentially. They do get hard, trust me. I know how hard hands can get, but they do get broken down kind of in the same way. They can be broken down in the same way, I should say. So I'm grabbing a sharper brush so you can see, but I have this box here to show like this part of my hand, the palm of my hand, right? And then you can have like a little box for your thumb, and then you have your thumb there because your thumb's pretty short. And then honestly, you can break your fingers down into like little boxes. One of my favorite artists calls them French fry hands, and it's so true. But yeah, so like hands can be broken down just like that, and guess what? It works well. And then you can go in and you can shape it just like I shaped this body. So yeah, it's kind of, I hope this helped. I hope this gave some light on to your drawings and things like that. I hope this gave you new information that you didn't know before. I know I want to get deeper into the human body. I want to show more techniques that I know, but this is all the time that I have for today. So thanks for coming along. I hope you drew something fun. Let me know in the comments down below if you were able to draw along, or if there was something that you found helpful, or something that you would think would be helpful in another video. Please let me know. But thank you so much for coming along with me on this little joyride that I took you on. And yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.